Hi and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be looking at some quick little love notes from your person. This is going to be a message cards only reading, and there are 3 groups to choose from. Group 1 is the red Jasper heart. Group 2 is the Picasso Jasper heart. And group 3 is the rose quartz heart. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups, or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to. I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps for each group in the description box of the video if you would like to jump ahead. Hi, Group 1. You chose the red Jasper heart. So I'm going to be looking at 3 cards from 3 different decks. So let's see, what does your person want to say from their higher self? Group 1. Okay, and they say, you're the only one who has ever truly listened to me. So this person might be kind of feeling out of place in their world currently. They might be feeling very alone or like a stranger in the crowd, even amongst people that they once really resonated with, friends, family, just feeling like they have to almost put on a show to impress people or to fit in. Somebody who might really be leaning toward tendencies of people pleasing or not really expressing their authentic truth out of fear of rejection. And there's a sense of really reminiscing on the time spent with you, on the connection with you, and the sense of being very comfortable with you, to just be themselves, being very accepted as they are. Somebody who really looks up to this person perhaps in terms of valuing their intelligence, their opinions. You may have really gone to this person for advice or, again, valued their opinions about things, which could be very rare compared to other people that they deal with who might be kind of dismissive of this person or really questioning of this person. They could be somebody who kind of deals with a lot of sort of combative people or kind of toxic or negative or really one-sided connections where maybe this person is really the one that is sought out for advice but then doesn't really have that shoulder to cry on, that person to lean on in their times of trouble or their times of need. And so if you're in no contact or separation, they could be going through a lot in their life at this point in time and really wishing that they could reach out to you to get your opinion about things, to really express to you what's going on with them, knowing that based on your previous encounters and dealings with this person, that you really listened without judgment to what they had to say, kind of looking beyond the face value of the words that were spoken to feel into the emotion and the subtleties behind that. And it's something that they really value and that they miss. And they also say, I'm sorry I didn't have the courage to face you. So this person could have been kind of overwhelmed by the connection in the past and chose to run from the connection rather than deeper in toward the connection. Something really triggered them, perhaps even pertaining to this concept of feeling very seen and heard and understood by you. That could have been very enticing for them, but at the same time very triggering, because this person may have really become accustomed to putting on a show, wearing a mask for others, and that level of vulnerability could have really spooked them. And both something that is wish fulfillment and also that possibility of being so vulnerable with somebody, it feels very unusual to this person, or very out of the ordinary for their usual dealings with others. And so they're kind of filled with this sense of regret at having run from this connection, maybe without an explanation. They could have ghosted you. Again, just having been really triggered and kind of retreating within themselves or retreating away from this connection. And knowing that they owed you an explanation, they may still owe you an explanation or some kind of an apology, but they don't feel just ready yet to present that to you or to face you at this time. Again, there's this energy of something else that might be going on in their life right now that could be taking up a lot of their emotional resources. They could be going through some difficulties or some kind of shift or change in their life. And at this point in time, they feel really kind of all consumed by whatever else this is, but there are still thoughts that are lingering in their mind, wishing that, you know, they had you by their side through this difficult time, that they could really turn to you and lean on you at this point in time, but recognizing as well what was done in the past, and that there's some cleanup work that needs to be done before you guys get back to that space with one another. But at this time, they don't really feel that they have the emotional bandwidth to, or even the time in their life to devote to kind of reestablishing trust and rebuilding the relationship between the both of you. And they also say, when I think about the future, you're always there with me. So somebody who's definitely deeply nostalgic about you. Again, any kind of shifts or changes that are going on in their life, things that are crumbling away, any tower moments that they're going through currently, as all of this stuff is kind of clearing away from their life or exiting their life. And, you know, as overwhelmed as they may be by that, it feels that this person is also really looking toward the future. And if these are kind of deliberate actions that they're taking to clear away lifestyle patterns, habits, kind of one-sided or negative or draining relationships, and they might be filled with kind of a sense of loneliness, a sense of isolation, but they are looking to this horizon that these things are necessary, these actions are necessary, clearing this energetic space within them so that they can raise their vibration and, as they're looking at it, meet you further down the road at that higher vibration, at that elevated stance, having gone through this ascension and really cleared the space within their life to create room for the two of you to begin again, or to really build upon this solid foundation, perhaps without the opinions or the inputs of other people, if that was a factor in the past, maybe other people in their ear being very critical of this connection, very judgmental of this, or if they just had a lot of, again, kind of one-sided or draining or very needy or clinging people in their life, having to kind of move away from those people, gravitate away from those people, kind of sever those connections, kind of push away those friendships or even relationships with family in order to really have the time, energy, and space in their life to be able to have a solid commitment with you, to be able to build and invest toward a future that is mutually satisfying, and is kind of based on this energy of reciprocity and high vibration compared to whatever they may have been sitting in their life previously, or whatever might have interfered between the two of you in the past. So let's see, what else does this person want to say from their higher self, group 1? Okay, and they say, I blocked my heart because I needed to heal. I was in fear. Please understand. So this can really refer to any kind of ghosting that may have happened, this person running from this connection. Again, something really being triggered, this aspect of vulnerability that, as they're looking back with nostalgia, is so enticing, and it's something that they're really craving in their life at this point in time. They're craving a return to that with you. But initially, when you were dealing with this person, that was very out of the ordinary for the relationships that they were used to being in. Perhaps in the past they had opened up and were vulnerable with others and were rejected, were mocked, were scorned, were questioned, were kind of discarded for showing that authentic side of themselves. And so over time they've learned to just kind of put on this armor around their heart, present this facade or wear this mask to others to really fit into the expectations of others rather than expressing their truth. And they also say, please don't give up on me. So wherever you find yourself with this person currently, any kind of stagnation, no contact, separation, they are not looking at this as the end of your story. This is definitely somebody who, as we saw here with when they're thinking about the future, they're thinking about you. They are seeing this as some kind of a cycle or a phase in their life that they are currently in the process of trying to wrap up. It's a cycle or phase in which you find yourselves in, and they're really hoping that the time that it takes for them to do the work necessary to kind of clear that energetic or physical space within their life to make room for this connection, to be able to prioritize this connection, to kind of eliminate distractions or interferences as far as this connection is concerned. They're recognizing this is not an overnight change, and they're really hoping that at the end of that, kind of when they wrap these things up, that you're still available, that you're still open to them, that the damage done between you or the hurt caused by this person maybe pulling away very unexpectedly and without explanation to you, remaining quiet or even kind of ignoring you for a certain period of time. They're hoping that that will be able to be remedied further down the road. And they also say, I'm afraid to open up to you. I don't want to get hurt. So that was coming through with maybe some kind of heartbreak or hurt from the past, from other people that they'd opened up with or been vulnerable with in the past. And so it was kind of a wound, an unhealed wound within them. And when you encountered this person and you were getting to know them, or just kind of this initial spark even where they felt so comfortable with you, they felt so seen and so understood, so accepted. And it was almost like this breath of fresh air for them, but at the same time very triggering, because it could have brought up memories of other times where, you know, maybe at first people were really resonating with the true them, but the deeper into those layers of this person that others got, there could have been a lot of rejection that occurred, or again, kind of this energy of being mocked or scorned, really judged for who they are as a person, or just kind of, you know, unfairly even discarded themselves. This definitely feels kind of like the energy of hurt people. So whatever kind of actions, behaviors, or words were displayed by this person in the past in this connection, this feels like something that at some point in time was done to them in a roundabout way, or maybe in the same kind of fashion where, you know, there was a deep kind of intense connection with somebody, a bond, whether that's friendship, even some situations with family or other romances, and then at a certain point there was just an abrupt cutoff. You know, or something where this person would have really expressed a part of themselves, a deep truth of their heart, a goal, a dream, a wish, some kind of desire or things preferences that they had. And when these things were really expressed to other people, then it could have led to a sense of alienation for them. And so almost subconsciously, that pattern was then repeating in this situation with you, where there's this deep bond, there's this closeness, there's this feeling of intimacy and of energy exchange, getting to know one another. And then at a certain point, they felt this kind of pull to open up and expose more of themselves than they ordinarily did with other people. Maybe they did cross that threshold and it opened up with you in a way that was very uncharacteristic for their typical dealings with other people, and it really triggered some kind of wound within them and caused them to kind of retract, go back in that shell, kind of push this connection away, almost pushing you away or rejecting you before you had a chance to reject them. So some wounds that this person is in the process, I feel, also of really recognizing, healing, kind of starting to take ownership for that. And that can be part of this energy of cycles that, you know, they're trying to heal that kind of root cause. And at this point in time, they don't feel that they've accomplished enough in terms of that inner work, that shadow work, that healing journey. They're not far enough along on that journey just yet to reach out to you and really create any kind of meaningful new beginning with you at this point, but it is in their mind as far as the future. So let me get the final 3 messages for you, group 1, this person's higher self. Okay, and they say, you show me myself without my shell. So that is coming through very strongly in this reading. This person feeling just this desire to be vulnerable with you, this ability to be seen beyond the facade that they put on. And this is something that's very comforting to them. It's almost a sense of home, a sense of resonance that is unlike other connections they've had in the past as far as romance, or maybe a feeling that they have not had in quite a while. And so it's very enticing for this person to move toward that, but at the same time very triggering that level of vulnerability and exposure. And they also say, fire up this flame that's burning between us. So a lot of passion and chemistry between the both of you. This person deeply attracted to you, really in this kind of mindset of wanting to, again, do this work, this kind of clearing work, this closing out of cycles in the interest not only of healing themselves, but ultimately to create the solid potential of a new beginning with you, to kind of clear out some of that debris within themselves, kind of release some of those attachments to negative thought patterns, negative belief systems, or even kind of toxic people, or kind of hurtful, painful experiences of the past. Kind of this imagery of in agriculture, and they will kind of set the fields on fire to sort of burn away the remnants of the crops that have been harvested in terms of grains, like specifically wheat fields or cornfields often. And, you know, just creating this very kind of fallow layer of ash on top of the soil that is then able to be tilled back into the earth to create this nutrient, to create this invigorated soil, this enriched environment in which the next cycle of crops, of plantings, of seeds that are planted are able to then germinate and be sustained in a very unencumbered way without kind of all that debris of the last cycle, the last kind of the series, the last harvest, to kind of clear that away. Sort of the lessons in the bounty having been extracted, and really seeking to kind of reprocess all that excess into something of use. So somebody who could really be diving deep within themselves to kind of harvest the lessons and the wisdom out of these painful experiences. Really a person who feels in a period of introspection, analyzing relationships in their life to see, you know, is this really serving my highest good? Or is this somebody that is kind of encouraging me to play small with my life, or fit into a box that works for them but doesn't necessarily work for me? So somebody who feels definitely in this transitional period, a major period of release, a major period of change that is occurring in their life, where it is both with this reference to fire and to flame, it's both a destructive period in their life, but it is also a period of kind of rebirth and resurrection, or sort of the prelude of that, kind of the clearing away in order for that kind of rich environment to be created, that sort of void to be created, that vacuum to be created. And, you know, in physics we learn that the universe abhors a vacuum. So by clearing away all of this kind of excess, these, you know, sort of stale relationships, stale ways of being, then it opens up the space to really manifest newness in their life, to really shift that vibration, and to be able to create and magnetize in experiences and people, and even new opportunities in this connection with you that just weren't possible at the vibration that they were at previously, or even because of other circumstances or people that were in their life previously that were kind of clogging up this ability for this person to really step into that vulnerability, into that truth, to express themselves authentically, and to be able to be received in that manner. And they also say, to my heart, soul, and mind, you are kryptonite. So you're this person's weakness and also their strength. I'm feeling again, they're very enticed and a feeling of joy at being seen, being understood. This could be somebody who feels that they've almost been living their life in hiding, hiding behind a mask, or really trying to play a role for others, to fit into others' expectations. And like a breath of fresh air, they've been able to really feel comfortable and understood in maybe some of the more quirky aspects of who they are, really seen and understood for the nuances, for almost the emotions behind the words spoken or things that they aren't expressing. This could be a deeply empathic relationship between the two of you that is very enticing for them, but at the same time, with that reference to kryptonite, there, and kind of in terms of Superman's weakness, where it's almost the level of vulnerability that they feel very called to step into and embody with you. There's still a lot of unhealed wounds to where they haven't really been able to separate vulnerability from loss. They're still kind of equating those two things in their mind based on experiences in the past, but through this transmutation period that they're going through, they're learning to kind of separate that, to kind of harvest the wisdom out of the painful experiences, to learn to recognize vulnerability not as a weakness but as a strength, kind of stepping into this energy of trust, of being comfortable, of kind of opening up their heart to love and on a new level than what they have experienced either in a while or for the first time, really opening themselves up to a space of trust and following that feeling, that draw that they have towards you and toward expressing that authenticity and that truth, experiencing love in a way that is more authentic than they may have experienced in the past, kind of moving toward that energy of unconditional love as a contrast to very conditional love and friendships and situations where certain expectations were placed upon them. They had to kind of present a certain side of themselves or fit into, again, other people's expectations is coming in very strongly. But this feels like someone who is moving away from that to answer the call of their own heart, follow their own truth, and to, through a process of closing out cycles and clearing things away, kind of create that environment that's necessary for the potential of a new beginning between the both of you further down the road. So I'm going to get some initials for you now. Group 1, this can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Okay, so we have L, H, M, C, J, F, W, V, T, I, A, K, B, and D. So those are your messages, group 1. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 2. You chose the Picasso Jasper. So I'm going to be getting 3 different message cards from 3 different decks. So let's take a look and see what does your person want you to know from their higher self, please. Group 2. Okay, and they say, I speak to you through music. So you could be hearing songs that really resonate with your situation, lyrics of songs that might be significant, that feel like messages from this person's higher self, and this can be a confirmation of that. From the higher self level, they are speaking the words or kind of sending these loving sentiments to you, even that from the 3D level, they are just not in a place to really express yet. It's a truth that is still kind of coming into being within them, or for a lot of you, they're in this process of really working up the courage to kind of express these things, express the truth of their heart. And they also say, you're the only one who has ever truly listened to me. So that kind of fits in with that reference to music, and the 2 of you could both really at this time be listening to songs that remind you of one another. Maybe you sent each other songs in the past. You could have playlists that remind you of one another. This person is really kind of escaping into that, escaping into music to get some healing and some solace. This is also really, this energy here is kind of bringing up a sense of somebody who is maybe not very comfortable with emotional vulnerability, somebody who has for a large part of their life really put on a facade, really kind of hidden their truth and their authenticity deeply away within them. Somebody who might have a lot of friends or acquaintances, but not a lot of people who know them on a deep level, on an intimate level. Somebody who, although they're quite popular, for example, doesn't have a lot of close and intimate contacts, people who know them very deeply, who know them very intricately. And so this is something where, they might really feel almost like they are living on an island amongst a sea of people, so to speak, where the truth of who they are, their true self, their heart, their soul, what really sets them on fire, what really resonates with them, it's not known to very many people or anybody at all. And there's a sense that when they met you, there was a familiarity, almost a sense of deja vu, maybe some past life recognition, or just a deeply empathic connection that you have with this person, to where they felt comfortable or urged to kind of step out from behind that mask, from behind that facade, in a way that could have been quite uncomfortable for them. While this urge was very strong, pulling them toward that authenticity, at the same time, it really brought up these fears, this vulnerability of kind of letting somebody peek behind that curtain, see behind that disguise that they've been wearing, kind of this fear of rejection of, if you really see them, if you really get to know the real them, are you still going to like what you see? And so this urge, this call to step into that authenticity, as triggering as that was for them, it could have really resulted in this person kind of pushing you away, pushing this connection away, rejecting this connection out of this almost this instinct of self-preservation, to preserve that mask and that facade that they've worked very hard to create and present, this image that they are living up to, that others know them as, fitting into the expectations of others. And this connection really could have been quite outside of the box in terms of differences between the 2 of you, age gap, cultural difference, religious difference, something just in the circumstances or the nature and how you met this person, your connection to this person. Maybe this is somebody who you met on a friendship level, and there was this kind of this desire not to interrupt that friendship or what you had built in that sense, or maybe you knew them through a group of people, and kind of this fear that to allow romance into the situation could compromise the friend group, the friend circle that you were both a part of. But at the same time, this deep appreciation that they have for you, and this kind of draw towards you to kind of overcome some of these boundaries or these fears or these hesitations, to step toward this light that this connection is offering them, to step out into the light where they have maybe been operating largely in shadow for quite some time, and kind of again wearing this disguise and their true self being largely a mystery to others, even unbeknownst to others. It could be quite convincing of a facade, and deeply within them dwells this whole other person, this whole other side of them that they've not allowed others to see, but that somehow they feel that you were able to perceive, or that they felt very called to express. And they also say our connection is infinite. So this is tying in with that energy of past lives and deja vu that was coming up with this other card here. And you know, this person really, something being sparked or awakened within them previously in dealing with you, where there's a familiarity to you. There's a sense of sanctuary and of comfort with you that is very enticing to this person, but at the same time, very unusual to compared to other people they've encountered in their life, or even just kind of their concept of the nature of relationships or existence in general. You could really cause this person to want to question the deeper aspects of themselves and of life and connection in general, which could be very enticing, but at the same time very overwhelming to this person. And it could have really, you know, caused them to want to retreat within themselves, to maybe even escape into music as kind of a safe zone for them while they're trying to process what it is they're feeling, these sensations that are coming up. So let me get the next 3 messages for you, group 2. All right, and they say, I am just healing. Please don't take it personal. So if they have retreated from you, retreated from this connection, again, a sense of being kind of overwhelmed by the energies between you, very overwhelmed by this compulsion that they had to really express themselves, expose a very vulnerable and authentic part of their nature that is largely, for most of their life, or in ordinary circumstances, is hidden from people. They're recognizing on some level that this urge to remain behind a mask, to kind of live this inauthentic life, stems from a place of fear of rejection or hurt or rejection from the past. And so this person is really recognizing kind of what is triggered within them based on the connection with you. It's coming up for a reason. This feels like somebody who, as much as they might have been triggered, they are also deeply introspective. They're well aware that they're almost like two people. There's the person they present and the true them. And so in this kind of internal world, they're starting to kind of put the pieces together here, trying to explore why something so enriching and so warm and so inviting, why that would be so scary to them. And so kind of slowly in this internal process and very quietly, still trying to maintain that facade, but within them, kind of in their private and quiet moments, they're starting to unravel and kind of really get to the root of what that was stemming from, rejecting somebody who may have been wish fulfillment for them out of this fear of being exposed or being known for their authentic self. And so somebody who's in a process of identifying those wounds of rejection, of loss, of hurt, or even betrayal in the past, and kind of in this process of identifying those things, acknowledging those things, which is the first step to healing them. And they also say, I am scared that I might get hurt. I'm sorry that I wasn't open to you. Please forgive me. So they are feeling bad about maybe pulling away from this connection, pushing you away, stuffing down their feelings, putting the brakes on, in terms of kind of the velocity that was building between the both of you, this intimacy, this kind of unfolding, this opening up in deep and emotional and vulnerable ways that could be quite uncharacteristic for this person. They're also acknowledging again this hurt, this kind of fear of loss and rejection within them, stemming from something in their past, or some kind of a perception maybe that they aren't good enough as they are. This person could really present a very confident exterior that is just a mask for some deep self-esteem issues within them, deep feelings of inadequacy, of really not getting validation for any times that they've expressed their authentic self, their authentic truth, maybe getting rejected in those instances. And so really feeling that they have to put on this mask, they have to put on this facade because they're not good enough. They don't, feeling they don't have much to offer to others, or, that they aren't very pleasing in terms of their personality or who they are at their core. And so they've kind of constructed this persona in order to kind of fit into a world or a series of expectations others have put upon them. And they also say no one else feels the same way you do. So this can really talk about that intensity, this very uncanny relationship that they have had with you, this deep sense of knowing across lifetimes, feeling very comfortable to expose parts of themselves that have been hidden for most of their life from others. And so while this is very enticing, it's also very new, very novel to this person. And it again kind of brings up these kind of core wounds within them, some self-esteem issues, fear of loss, fear of rejection, or even instances of that demonstrated to them by their parents, by their friends, by other romantic connections in the past, that they are now tasked with acknowledging these things, kind of extracting that root pain from themselves and moving beyond that into a space where they are operating from an energy of trust and faith, and really self-love and self-acceptance seems to be a key theme here as well, that this person needs to kind of work on understanding that they are worthy just as they are, that their worth is not determined by other people's ability to understand that or appreciate that or acknowledge that, but self-worth, it's kind of an inside job, that they are, they have a lot to offer as they are, that their authentic self, by kind of hiding that away, they're almost depriving others and the world itself of this gift of the very unique perspective and person that they are. So I'm going to get the last 3 messages for you, group 2, and see what does this person want you to know from their higher self. Okay, and they say, I want you to understand me. So again, this very much being pulled to step beyond the mask, beyond the facade, to let you in, to be vulnerable with you in a way that they may not have done with anybody before, or really didn't feel that anybody was able to see or to recognize them or appreciate kind of these nuances of who they are, this quirkiness of who they are, these very intricate and intimate details of their core makeup. But with you, they're confronted at this point in time with almost a mountain of fear, and they seem to be somebody who's in the process of collecting all those tools, the spikes and the rope, and the supplies that they will need to make this journey up. It's a journey within, but it's also a journey up, kind of transcending these obstacles, each ledge, each crevice, being an element of fear, stepping outside of that comfort zone in order to attain that higher perspective, that higher experience, to be in a place of receptivity to this higher love that wants to come in. And they also say, tell your heart that I'm the one. So this can also be kind of a message to themselves in this need that they have to really love themselves. This person may have really rejected themselves for quite some time, or kind of became accustomed to really feeling that they didn't have a lot to offer to others, or that their true self was something to be ashamed of, or was something to kind of work to build away from, to build kind of a life that was very contrary to that, or a personality there, or persona that was very contrary to that. And so this can really speak about that self-love journey, pouring into their own cup. And this process that this person is in of really kind of reprogramming themselves to understand that they are good, that they are worthy just as they are, that the person that they've been trying to become or trying to present, it doesn't hold a candle to who they truly are at their core. That the kind of whatever they're seeking through this this presentation of a facade, that the truth and the true value can really be found within them, beyond all the masks, beyond all the projections, and that at their core they are very worthy and very deserving of being loved and being received just as they are. And this can also really be kind of this person hoping that through this journey that they have to do, this daunting task of really facing some of these wounds, addressing these wounds, kind of letting the mask go, stepping out from behind that curtain, really stepping into that authenticity and truth, which is a process, and it can be something that is quite scary, that progress is made and then they kind of revert back into that tendency to put on a show for others. So it's kind of a gradual process of kind of stepping into this new way of being, of unfolding from the inside out. And they're hoping that through the progress that this takes, or the time that this process takes, that you will be open to them, that this feeling, this inclination that they have of being very safe in your presence, this sense of sanctuary, they're having to fight this layer of fear as well, that when you truly see inside, when you truly see who they are, that you will still feel this resonance with them, that this spark, this chemistry, this bond, or even flirtations or loving words that were exchanged between you in the past, they're hoping that as they expose more and more of themselves in their life in general, and then also come to this place of being able to really present that authentic self to you, that they're going to meet that expectation, that what you're going to see is actually pleasing to you, what you're going to see matches up with the expectation and the feeling that you have of who they truly are. And they also say, I long to see you. So definitely missing you in any kind of silence and separation. And I feel that this is also really talking about that they're longing for you to see them as their authentic self. They're longing to let you in, to let you see behind that curtain, to drop that mask and just present themselves in their authenticity. This is a goal that they have. It's motivating them to push through these wounds, through these facades, to recognize these patterns and what may have triggered that, this deep kind of self-rejection and this feeling that they aren't good enough and that they have to really put on a show for others. They long to be seen and to be heard and to be understood just as who they are, and quite uncharacteristic for other connections that they've had in the past or other relationships that are in their life currently. They're almost feeling very drawn to you as a very safe space, a very safe person, where if anyone could really understand the truth of who they are, if anyone would be able to accept them and would be really excited to know this true version of them, beyond the mask, beyond the facades, it would be you. And so this is really motivating them to, again, do this journey within, that deep dig within, in order to really transcend those obstacles and kind of raise their vibration, raise their self-esteem, and to present themselves further down the road as a more authentic and unencumbered version of the person you might have been dealing with previously. So I'm going to get some initials for you now. Group 2, this can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Okay, so we have R, T, K, A, O, L, F, E, P, C, B, U, and W. So those are your messages, group 2. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 3. You chose the rose quartz heart. So I'm going to be getting 3 cards from 3 different decks. So let's see, what does your person want you to know from their higher self? Group 3. Okay, and they say, with you, I've always felt free. So somebody who feels very invigorated by this connection, very encouraged to be their authentic self, somebody who maybe sees a lot of potential for where the two of you could move toward in terms of the connection and your lives in general, with kind of this foundation of love and support between the both of you. Something where this person really appreciates the ways in which you have always encouraged and accepted them as their authentic self, a connection in which they have felt very free to express themselves, to kind of explore and evolve. Somebody who really feels that you encourage them to step into their best self, to really pursue their goals, to step into that best life. And we have 1111, so this person could be seeing this a lot. You could be seeing 1111 a lot as well. This can also be a confirmation if you resonate as a twin flame. This can really indicate that that is this person that you're watching the reading for. But this is also really talking to me about this process of ascension, which is taking place within the both of you. So maybe the appearance of 1111 or other angel numbers at this point in time, kind of frequently, maybe sort of that coincides with when you're with this person, if you're still in contact with them, or when you're thinking about them, or just throughout the day. Seeing these things can kind of be an indication of something that is really shifting, that is really evolving within the both of you, and also this potential that's on the horizon for whatever is going on in your connection currently is about to go through some kind of major upgrade. And that can be something on an energetic level. This can even relate to physically kind of moving to the next level of commitment, or if you're in no contact with this person, this can really be an indication of this person reaching out. Also kind of in conjunction with this energy of them saying that they've always felt free with you, that maybe if they had stepped away from this connection, or kind of been in this energy of the runner, so to speak, that they've really had this opportunity to look around, to recognize kind of ways in which their life is not as vivid without you in it, and kind of really taking the time to inventory other romances that they've had in the past. Maybe if they've even dated other people, they've really not been able to establish that kind of same deep, intimate bond and soul connection with others. And so there's a sense here of this person perhaps even really kind of moving out of this energy of being the runner, doing that 180-degree shift and becoming the chaser, really pursuing this, really wanting to kind of return to the happier times between you, or to give more into this connection than they had previously. And they also say, you are the love of my life. So this is some perspective that may have come to this person through any kind of distance and separation that you find yourselves in. Maybe some time that you both mutually agreed you needed to take to figure some things out, or to prioritize some other things in your life, maybe some goals you were working towards in career, something to do with education, with schooling. Something is really started to make sense for this person, though, in the separation. They've almost had this epiphany, or even with this 1111, some kind of awakening or shift has occurred within this person, where they're starting to see the truth of this connection, the importance of this connection, and the energy between you in a way that may not have been apparent to them before, or that they may not have been really prepared, willing, or able to accept previously. So let's see, what else does this person want to say from their higher self? Okay, and they say, make a wish. I promise to make your wish come true. So this can be another kind of indication here of a pretty major shift happening in this connection in kind of the near future. Maybe you're already sensing energetically that the energy between you and this person is really going through some kind of evolution or change. This could be somebody that you were really waiting for quite some time, hoping that they would see the light, that they would make the changes necessary, maybe that they would kind of move away from or let go of some kind of toxic patterns in their life, karmic relationships, and that can be in the form of friends, family, romance. That can be a karmic relationship, can be with somebody's job or with kind of somebody's work ethic, a relationship to finances. It can have to do with substance abuse. You can have a karmic relationship with food, with shopping, with mindsets, belief systems. Any number of things can fit into that category. And so if there's anything like that that was operating as a wedge between you and this person and this connection in the past, this feels very much that some pretty major progress is being made for this person to kind of let these things go, to move away from these things, to kind of shift that perspective. Something has really opened up for this person, has really dawned on this person, and they feel to be somebody who is in this process of kind of course correcting their life, maybe rethinking choices that were made in the past to move away from this connection or push this connection in you away. And they also say, I want you in my life. I see you as my future. So again, this energy of course correction, the runner becoming the chaser, somebody who was maybe very indecisive, kind of had a fear of commitment even before, or just really wasn't sure what they wanted out of their life, wasn't ready for commitment at the point when you were last dealing with them, or somebody who was even very overwhelmed by the energies of the connection, some kind of activation even that took place, a kundalini awakening, a spiritual awakening that was activated within them, even through the dynamic of kind of that twin flame energy. And so somebody who may have really run from this connection, pushed this away, tried to kind of suppress their feelings, distract themselves, maybe with other things, with work, or just kind of more low vibrational relationships, that something has really changed within this person. Something has really shifted. They're starting to really prioritize this and sort of moving in a direction back towards you to create this new beginning, to hopefully kind of remedy the damage that was done between you in the past, offer apologies, offer explanations perhaps, to just kind of clear away some of the stuck and stagnant energy between the both of you in order to kind of pave the way for a new road that you can walk on together. And they also say, I miss your touch. So somebody who really misses being in your life, in physical proximity to you. So this may resonate if you find yourself in complete no contact or separation from this person. This is also really kind of tying in for me with that energy that was coming up of just really not being able to meet anyone else that fulfilled them on a soul level in the same way that you have. This could be somebody who has maybe tried to date other people, who has gotten into other relationships, but nobody else has really touched them at the soul level, has really touched their life or made the greatest impact in their life in the same way that this connection had. Even if this is somebody that you were only with for a short period of time, your interaction with them was very minimal. Before the separation period set in, something about that has really, it's made an impact on them. It's something they've not been able to forget you. It's something that they're really thinking about this as they're going down, through the course of their life. They're going into other relationships. Friends, family, other romances, they're, even things with coworkers, and they're really kind of able to, assess sort of the energetic exchange between people, the level of intimacy, of an emotional level, of a spiritual level, for some people even kind of the physical component of those connections and those relationships, and just not experiencing that deep satisfaction, that deep resonance, that deep soul knowing, that feeling of freedom, of being accepted for who they are, encouraged to step into that best self, having their dreams and goals really recognized and encouraged and admired and promoted by you, encouraged, that this is not something that they are experiencing with other people. And so all of this is really, it's helping them to kind of make that shift within themselves, that realization that what they walked away from in the past might have been the best thing for them. So let me get the final 3 messages for you, group 3, this person's higher self. Okay, and they say you are seared into my heart. So again, you made a great impact upon this person. It's an energy they've not been able to replicate with others. They've not been able to experience this same level of awakening with others or this resonance with others. It's something where even if they've entered into other connections, you've always been in their heart. There's a sense also of comparing others to you. And just really finding themselves drawn back to you time and again, being very disappointed with what they're experiencing out there in the world, the grass definitely not being greener on the other side, and this person being at a point of coming to this realization where they're understanding that they can't keep going forward in their life just kind of carrying this regret. There's this desire to course correct, to move back in your direction, to try and regenerate this connection, this relationship, to start fresh and to continue down the path that the two of you may have originally embarked upon, but then this person kind of disconnected from that journey. But this is the energy of somebody who really wants to kind of get back to basics with you, to start over with you, to pick up where you left off, and to really be able to, through that 1111 and this kind of energy of ascension and awakening and increased awareness that is going on, to be able to meet you on a level that wasn't necessarily possible before, that they weren't really prepared to do. Somebody who may have been very overwhelmed by the energetic connection is now really missing the intensity of that bond, because other connections just are not really meeting that expectation. It's kind of like the bar has now been set too high for them to really settle or be satisfied truly with anything less. And they also say, I want you to know what I'm going through. So this is also that energy of this ascension, the shift within this person, a desire that they have to reach out to communicate this to you, but maybe feeling the time is not right. Course correction can be a process where they might feel very energetically compelled back in your direction. You might feel a strong influx of this person energetically. The 3D self might lag in kind of following through that. The 3D self can be riddled with fear and resistance. And so while the energy could be pulling this person towards you, compelling them, all signs are pointing in your direction and really encouraging this person to make the change necessary. Free will is obviously a factor, and again, that 3D self has that ability to kind of dig its heels in, to kind of choose to remain stuck rather than take the steps that are necessary to create a shift. And if that choice is made, this feeling, this knowledge that they maybe stepped away from a good thing, from the right thing for them, that they had met the one, so to speak, and chose to move in another direction. This knowledge will continue to follow them. It will continue to be very pervasive. The signs will continue to come in. The universe will continue to kind of urge this person to make the changes necessary. So even if you're feeling an energetic shift, you're feeling that anticipation, it feels like this person is on the brink of coming in, there's always the possibility that, at the 3D level, they can stop just short of knocking on that door, just short of making that approach to you, just short of reaching out. That doesn't necessarily mean forever. This can be a process of kind of leaning in, only to sort of fall back into that comfort zone, those fears, to kind of stay in that energy of resistance, and kind of gradually, sort of inch by inch, moving their way towards you over the course of time. But it feels that overall something in this connection has shifted. This is now a new chapter. Energetically, there's something is really stirring up, is really been shaken within this person. They're starting to even change their mind about things, and with all of that, over the course of time, as these shifts continue to take place, continue to unfold, they continue to be kind of disappointed or let down in terms of the level of connection and resonance that they're experiencing with others. This will continue to be motivation for this person to create the changes necessary to make that shift, to take that action, instead of just operating in this energy of wanting and of longing, but to follow that up with action steps. And so somebody who really is going through changes has this desire to reach out and may or may not follow through on that desire with concrete actions. And they also say, I will wait in the name of love. So this could be somebody who is kind of at this point of really giving up on maybe casual dating with other people. If this was somebody who, really wanted to see what else the world had to offer them, discovered that the grass was not greener on the other side, they could be entering into this period of kind of celibacy or being single, really not resonating with casual connections or with other people that they're meeting at this point in time. A massive shift going on in this person where they're recognizing this need to kind of just sit in their own energy, to figure out a plan forward, to make sense of this energetic pull that they have back in your direction, this knowledge that they are having that you are the love of their life, and kind of working up a plan about what to do, what steps need to be taken to kind of course correct, to eliminate any sort of circumstances in their life of a karmic nature, no matter what kind of form or guise those things take, but somebody who, through this awareness, that being the first step to change, is now kind of on this precipice of making that shift in subtle ways within themselves, slowly in their life, in terms of their actions, things they're willing to participate in, circumstances, that they're involving themselves in, and all of this definitely then building up to kind of this end goal that this person seems to have of kind of re-emerging in your life, this energy of that they're seeing you as their future, knowing that there's work that needs to be done, things that need to fall into place, changes which need to fully materialize and manifest within them. But this confidence and this hope that this person has that through all this confusion and this shakeup, doing things differently than they may have done before, on the other side of that is the reward of kind of coming into this place vibrationally and within their life of being able to really step into that higher version of self and be able to meet you as a worthy partner who is open and able to explore this love and express the feelings that in the past might have been kind of overwhelming for them and cause them to retreat or withdraw from this connection. So I'm going to close this reading for you, group 3, with some initials. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Okay, so we have B, L, W, A, X, O, U, Y, G, I, J, C, P, V, K, and F. So those are your messages, group 3. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.